point what President Putin's intentions are here?
Well, that remains the big mystery, because what we're clearly seeing is a very dramatic buildup of Russian troops in various parts around Ukraine that would facilitate a very rapid, large-scale invasion, potentially as soon as next year. The one thing that we don't know is what Vladimir Putin actually intends to do with those troops. Of course, he's the master of brinkmanship, who has built up troops in the area before and likes to provoke and cause trouble, because that's how he gets his influence. His economy is not big enough to be a big player on the stage. And NATO, he's worried about what NATO is doing with Ukraine, whether this is a warning signal to tell NATO and others to back down from the area, or whether he really intends to make good on an invasion potentially, is the big question. Either way, the US is not taking any chances, which is why you can see these warnings escalate, and the pressure is mounting to try and deter him from whatever it is he might actually be intending.
This could be a fresh challenge on multiple fronts for the Biden administration, right, in terms of their willingness to engage in a military sense?
Well, that's right. Of course, the US has recently engaged in quite a messy, chaotic withdrawal from Afghanistan after 20 years of being bogged down in conflict there. And the US president made it very clear at that time that the US is no longer interested in getting heavily engaged in military conflicts far from its own shores. It's just not going to simply do that anymore. So having made that very clear, the Russian president might say, well, are you actually going to follow through or not if I went into Ukraine? So that's a big question for the US. At the same his mind, his popularity has been falling at home. He's still trying to get a very big economic package through Congress, and that's bogged down at this point in the Senate. So he's focused on that. He really doesn't want the distraction of having to deal with Ukraine